Hi everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health Daily Rambling, where I kind of go over what I've been doing the past day or so. Today is May 15th, 2010. It's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Just going to kind of just ramble off of what I got so far. Do want to mention just off the top, basically my mother had stopped by because actually I have my cousin coming down from up north, Jen, and my sister. They're basically going to be crashing at my place for a while. They're in town, kind of doing vacationing and relaxing and whatnot. And out of all the families, I have the most available room because I still have those 2 bedrooms that I'm trying to rent out, which have been fruitless. So I'm like, hey, no problem, go ahead and stay here. So my mom actually swung by earlier today and basically said, hey, I got this air mattress. I know you got the futon for the 1 bedroom. We got this air mattress, so I'll blow it up and we'll basically let them kind of stay here, which is kind of cool. And while she was over here, she had mentioned, actually in her trunk, or in her car, which I noticed when I was getting this stuff out, she had this in her trunk, which is a huge McCafe frappe. This, of course, my mom's an area supervisor for one of the McDonald's in Pasco. And she mentioned McDonald's is running this promotion where essentially in the Tampa Bay area, there's 20 of these big frappe things hidden at local businesses. And basically, if you follow McDonald's Twitter account, their local one, I don't know what it is, basically it'll give you clues on where it is, and if you find it and bring it to one of the McDonald's participating stores, you'll get basically a year's worth of frappes. Basically 52 frappes, one a day, for a year, which is kind of cool. And my mom had mentioned basically one was found in her location already, basically at the Harley Davidson store. The guy found it, brought it to one of her stores, and he basically won the frappe for a year, which is kind of cool. The frappes themselves basically either get reused or go back to the main office, but nonetheless, because it was just recent, my mom had it. She actually had it in her cart, which was kind of cool. I wanted to bring it in here and show it full size, but she was like, "No." I'm like, "No." She's very protective of her work, which is understandable. Like, I wanted to show that PowerPoint presentation that I was working on, which was for her, but it had a lot of secret McDonald's business stuff in it. She doesn't want me sharing it with the world. Mainly those 4 people that watched it. She doesn't want those 4 people saying McDonald's business plan, which makes sense. But just to kind of give you a scale, that's how big it is. It's a big frappe thing that you would basically find at a local store. And basically you would follow McDonald's Twitter account. So this might be still going on. I know nobody... Me personally, McCafe frappes, I haven't been a big fan of the McCafe. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm a soda person. But it's just interesting. My mom came by. It was kind of cool just to kind of see her get the air filter thing. She also watched, I still had that Betty White SNL thing. And she actually watched some of that because she was interested to see how that worked out. But moving on, let's get back to the regular stuff. Off of Japanator, basically, they're doing an HD release of the Death Note live-action movies. In which case, I've been a huge fan of Death Note. I do love the whole basically friendly rivalry, but you don't know the rivalry and one-up each other and the rules set in Death Note. If you don't know what Death Note is, don't worry about it. But I really enjoyed Death Note, and I even enjoyed the live-action movies a lot because it was a different stance on the Death Note, not the manga or the anime. It follows the same lines, but it's definitely a different twist to it, which I really, really enjoyed. And I'm very actually kind of interested in this Blu-ray release of both movies. I might actually get it, or rent it, or you know what I do. But happy to see it. A big Death Note fan. Really love the Light actor. The Light, not Light, but the guy who played L in the live action, which is freaking awesome. Moving on here, I did do a recent batch of gaming reviews, in which case I am always backlogged with gaming reviews, but I got set out here, I titled it Diamonds in the Rough, and that's Divinity and Mountain Blade Warband. In my review, I basically kind of mentioned these are 2 games where you might automatically dismiss. You might have heard bad things about them, but I played them and I enjoyed them immensely. I mean, honestly, what I wrote about Divinity 2 was a huge, long list of a review, in which case, like, I think 5 of the paragraphs are good things and then 1 paragraph is bad thing. And overall, I gave it like an 8.25. Mountain Blade Warband's a PC game. It's a little extremely rough around the edges, but I still loved it immensely. I give it a 7.5 because that's just what it is, but a lot of really good design choices made in both these games, and I really, really enjoyed them. That, and I'm not proud, but happy with how I did that picture because I took a little bit extra time to kind of lens flare it and give it a wave, but whatever. Moving on here. Gamefly, just because I want to mention it, I did ship 3D Dot back Friday. They haven't gotten it yet. No big deal. That's how the weekend works out. Another reason why I might do Blockbuster. Yeah. But it does look like they bumped Red Dead Redemption to the 17th from the 18th, so hopefully they'll be shipping that on Monday. I'll be getting it Tuesday, Wednesday, and with my job now that I'll be starting on Monday, I'll be really interested to see how that works out. Moving on here, let's do a game FAQ poll. Do you use Facebook? I do use Facebook. I don't use it more often than any other site, but I definitely use it to keep in touch with friends there. And then you can, of course, see the other options here. In which case, wow, for once, yes, I keep in touch with friends there, The second option is actually the majority at this point, by 1%. But then you have somebody, no, I don't use any social networking sites. It is really coming up close. And yes, but occasionally. So this looks like Facebook is very popular. I mentioned before I like Facebook, and I do use it. Actually, here, boom, Facebook. I use it, and I like it because it's a clean interface. MySpace, they let the users do too much with it, and it just got crowded and looked like crap. That MySpace did it. Facebook still got a nice, clean interface. And this, of course, is Facebook, and tonight is the birthday rock band party. Today is Jeff Gross's birthday, an old Anime Nation friend of mine, and I keep touch with him on Xbox Live almost all the time. He's one of the other dedicated gamers that keep on top of gaming news and somebody I can talk to all the time. So happy birthday, Jeff. You're definitely older than me, but you're cool. And he and his wife, Felina, her birthday is also soon, in which case this party tonight is for their both birthdays. Is going down at 9 o'clock tonight. I definitely will be there. I might be taking pictures again. I might not. If you remember, I did a rock band thing with them before back in January. So it looks like they have 29 confirmed guests, so that place is going to be packed. So that's going to be interesting, and I'll be going to that very, very soon. I'll be driving out there, bringing my drum set and my guitar and whatnot, and having some fun. And that's where I will be tonight. So if you're looking for me, which you won't be because you're probably watching this tomorrow, which is Sunday, but whatever. Anywho, let's go ahead and move on to the game I got here, which is going to be the Sega Classic Collection. And this isn't Sega Genesis, this is the Sega Master System Classic Collection, in which case Golden Axe, Columns, Fantasy Zone, Bonanza Brothers, Alien Syndrome 10R, Monica GP, Virtual Racing, Space Harrier, Outrun. This is, of course, released in like 2004 along the haze of all the collections. This is back when like the Sonic collection, the Atari collection, the all the just Intellivision collections, all the different collections that basically flooded the market in middle of 2000. This is one that I don't recall why I got it. I imagine it must have been like cheap somewhere. Wanted to probably get it for Space Harrier and Outrun and just the nostalgia value of it. I mean, I'm not really big into old retro gaming. I'll basically play them once or twice, and nowadays there's so many ROMs on my computer, I don't even bother with these anymore. But I remember vaguely playing this. It can't be bad, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a collection of old games. You know, we've all seen these. We all have the collections. And this is basically like, I guess, the Sega Master System collection. In which case, nowadays there's so many collections you can download on Xbox Live or PSN or on your computer. It's just funny how like retro games are everywhere now on your cell phones and everything. And who knows, going forward, theoretically, even like the first gen games, PlayStation, Super Nintendo, well, Super Nintendo's already out there. But as time goes on, older games will be coming to newer formats and being smaller and cheaper and more portable. So it's interesting to see how back in the day, 30 years ago, you would have to like, it would be a big to-do if you had these games. But nowadays, people just have them on disk, just lying around or on their computers or on their cell phones. It's really strange. But other than that, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.